Are you making another video, Grandma?
I am.
What have you called it this time?
I don't know. Anyway, it's got cabbage, apples, smoked sausage,
Whoa, that's
onions.
good.
Yes.
That's good.
Yes.
I can already tell you.
Oh, I know. I've got my burner on back here, and I've got a little bit of oil in my skillet, and I have got some Hillshire Farm beef smoked sausage here. You can use turkey, you can use the original, you can use beef, you can use kielbasa. I think they have some that's spiced with different spices in it, but I just happened to pick up the beef this time. And it is a 12-ounce package, and I'm just going to cut it in little rounds. This knife is not cutting really good. I need to sharpen it. I'm just going to cut it in little rounds. Boy, that knife is not sharp. Let me try this one. Yeah, this is doing it better. Okay. Honey, you got to sharpen my knife.
Okay.
We got a little knife sharpener in there we use, so. All right. I'm putting it in my skillet back here. And I'll cut the rest of them. You can cut them as small as you like. We just like a good mouthful of sausage. So, what is that, ½ inch?
About it.
About a ½ inch. All right. We're kind of, we had fish yesterday. Our son-in-law, Hunter, goes fishing a lot. And what were they? Brim, white, crappie, not crappie, they weren't that.
Like bluegill to me.
Bluegill, yeah, they were bluegill. And so he gave us a big container, and I cooked those, and I cooked hush puppies, and fried some okra, and made coleslaw. So that's what we had yesterday. We had been eating leftover turkey and dressing and all that stuff, so I'm trying to make something this week that's not pertaining to turkey and dressing. And I've got a medium-sized onion here, and I just cut it in half, and then I quartered it, and I'm just cutting it in slices. I don't want to chop it. I just want it cut in slices because I want it to be about the same size as my cabbage and my apples, and I'll show you my apples. I already cut those up. I just took them, halved them, quartered them, took the core out, and did them in little slices, just like that. Make your slices as thin as you want, but you want it to cook at about the same time that your cabbage does. Okay? So I'll put my onion in here, and it's going to be about a cup of onion. My sausage has already started cooking back here. I hear it. I just want to get a little brown crust on the edges of it. All right, so that was one medium-sized onion, just cut in little slices. All right, put this back here. Stir my sausage, and I'll put it where each surface is touching the bottom because I want it to brown real good on both sides. Okay. Now, where I made coleslaw yesterday, I had half of a cabbage left. So I'm just going to cut it in pieces about like I did the apple. Not getting that core. Because the core, of course, the last couple of cabbage that we've got hasn't had much core at all in it, has it, honey?
Nope.
But our rabbits love the core. So they get the core, they get all our apple peelings, our cabbage leaves that you have some on the outside, cabbage leaves,
Banana peel.
banana peelings. All right, so now I'm just going to chop it up like that. And I'll take this one and I'll cut it in about like 1 inch sections, and then I'll cut it up. Okay. And I'll do this one the same way. My sausage are beginning to get a little brown on them. So I'm just going to keep letting them cook. I'm going to finish cutting up my cabbage, and then we'll be back in a minute.
Just a little brown.
Just a little brown, because they got to cook some more. All right. Now, I'm going to put my onions in here where I had my sausage. And Roy gave me a wonderful idea. And I'm going to try it because I think it's really going to be good. I got a sweet potato from over there, and I cut it. It's just a small one, that size. And I cut it in half, and I'm cutting it in little old bitty slices. Thinner than what my apple was, because I want my sweet potato to cook at the same time my apple and my cabbage does. And it takes sweet potatoes longer to cook. So if I do them in thinner slices, they'll cook at the same time.
You could also microwave it for
I
a couple of
could.
minutes.
Yeah, I could, but all right. So I'm just cutting it really thin. All right. Now, I think I'm going to put my sweet potatoes in with my onions. Give them just a little head start. All right. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to look down here, get a lid, and I'm going to put a lid on it and let that sweet potato and that onion steam just a little bit. So maybe 5 minutes, and that'll give my my sweet potato just a little head start. So we'll do that in a minute. All right, my sweet potatoes are just beginning to get tender. My onions are just like I want them. I'm going to put my apples in, and I'm going to let them cook. I got to put a little salt and a little bit of pepper. And I'll probably salt my cabbage a little bit more whenever I put it in. Okay? I'm going to put the lid back on it, and I'm going to let it cook about 3 minutes. And then I'm going to put my cabbage in, because I really don't want my cabbage to cook very long. We like ours just kind of like al dente. We don't like them real mushy. So my cabbage will cook probably 7 or 8 minutes. So, but I'm going to let my apples cook for just about 2 or 3 minutes. Then we'll be putting our cabbage in. We got a pot full, y'all. That's all right. We'll eat it. Okay, I'm going to put a little bit more salt on my cabbage and a little bit more pepper. Stir it up. Stir my apples and now I'm not going to put my sausage in yet. I'm going to put them in just before it gets done.
My goodness, that's looking good, Grandma.
I know. Look at that. Mm.
Now, if you've never eaten cabbage and apples and sausage, this might not look as good, but if you ever try it,
Now, I love sweet potatoes and apples together. I do a dish where, and I do it on top of the stove where I just saute my sweet potatoes and apples, and I put a little stevia and a little cinnamon over them, and we love them like that. So
I love apples and cabbage and sweet potato
yeah.
and cabbage too.
All right,
You're just putting them all in the same dish this time.
I'm gonna turn it down on medium, and I may have to add a little water. I'm not sure, but it's gonna take this. I'll stir it every once in a while. And it's probably going to take it maybe 7 or 8, maybe 10 minutes before the cabbage get done. So be back then. All right.
Oh, Grandma.
Turn it off. This is going to be. Okay, y'all. I want y'all to look at that. Doesn't that look delicious?
That looks delicious.
Oh my. A 1 skillet meal right here. And I'm going to get an apple. Now it's hot. It's really hot. I'm going to get a little cabbage.
This is another Grandma Rose's original recipe.
Yes, it is. All right.
And it is delicious.
I'm going to get my cabbage and my apple first. Woo! Sweet potato. Oh, my.
Piece of sausage.
That's a big piece of sausage.
Is it hot, Grandmama?
Ooh! Y'all.
It doesn't bother me for her to burn her tongue because it gives me 2 or 3 days. But I don't have to listen to it.
Y'all. This is awesome. Now, awesome is not a word I use very often, but this is awesome. This is so good. My cabbage are al dente, my potatoes are done, my apples are perfect. The sausage is perfect. I'm telling you, food feeds the family, family feeds the heart, God feeds the soul. Sorry, baby, you're not going to be in this one.
Okay.
Love y'all. Please, please make this. This is
so healthy.
This
so
is
delicious.
so healthy, so good, so delicious.
I cheated. I tasted of some of the cabbage.
Yes,
and the flavors
did.
from the apples and sweet potatoes and sausage are all over those cabbage.
We had to taste to make sure the seasoning was right. Now, you could put garlic in here if you want to, but I'm not going to. I'm not going to mess with it at all. And the recipe will be in the description box. This is a 1 skillet meal right here.
Woo.
I mean, everything in 1 skillet.
You got to add this to your repertoire. Is that what it's called?
I guess
Rose?
that's what they call
them.
Okay. But 30 minutes or less is all it takes.
And so healthy.
To make this. So healthy. All right, y'all.
Thank you, Grandma.
See y'all next time.